Hello? Hello, can everyone hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me, Tony? Hello, let me see if it works on mine. Yeah, cool, it works. I'm not using my computer, I'm using my son's laptop. So I've just had to install a load of new software on it. So I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I thought instead of doing a video, I'd just do a live for 45 minutes. As I just couldn't face it today. It was, I just feel too... Does it sound okay? And is the video and everything okay? Let's just see from my side. Yeah. Seems to work. So basically today I just thought I would do this instead. So I thought we could chat about just about everything, and it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I thought we could just sort of have a chat, spend the next 45 minutes or so talking RC stuff. I was planning on doing a video today where I was going to upgrade this. I've actually managed to find a set of these, and these are as rare as you can find in the UK. But so that was going to be the video, but to be honest with you, today I just didn't feel up to it. We just took all the Christmas decorations down and put them in the loft and everything. So I thought, hey, I'll just come and have a chat with you guys. Bit echoey. Let me move this back a little bit. Does that sound better? I'm not sure why it should be so echoey. That I don't know. Let me have a look on my software. Let's have a look. I can probably down... What's this do? Is that better? So that's the camera you... Oh, okay. I think that's it, isn't it? That might be better for you. I think it was using two... Is that better? Is that better? Okay. I think what it was is... there's a speaker, there's a microphone in the camera and there's a microphone here. This is a much better microphone than the one that's in there. So I think it was actually using both. I've just installed all my software on this laptop. This is my son's laptop because I think it's better to do live chats up here so that I can grab cars and stuff if we want to talk about them. But all my software is all set up on my Mac Mini downstairs in the office. But this is a better way to go, I think. Hello, Australia. So what can we talk about? What should we talk about? What's coming in 2023? Or has anyone got anything they want to know? Or what can we talk about? Could do a little video on fitting... what's this coming up here? Yeah, go away. Could you do a video on fitting body lines? Oh, right. Yeah, people ask me quite a lot what body line tape I use. I've actually got it. So this is what I use. It's not brilliant. It's just cheap eBay stuff. And it comes in rolls like this. I don't know if you can see. And it comes different thicknesses. That's okay. It's a little bit wasteful because you tend to use the thinner lines. But you can do other stuff with it. Like what I did with my Porsche. I used it to make these lines. So the gold and the red are from the same things. And the stickers on the top, those three lines, I actually made it with the same stuff. So it's okay. It doesn't stick as well as I'd like, but it's cheap. So that's what I use, but I just wish it grabbed a little bit better. Over time, it starts to lift in a few corners, so I'd give it a 3.5, 4 out of 5. But it's cheap, it's easy to find on eBay, and that's what I use at the moment. Tamiya do some, and Kyosho do too, but I've never tried it. I would assume that it's stickier, it'll last longer. But the Tamiya one comes on a sheet, so I'm not sure if you've got to cut it out, because that would be a nightmare. But there we go. Just remember to clear the internet history before you give the laptop back. I don't know what you mean. Here we go. Rick B. What's your beef with the TT-02? For the record, I'm sure I've done this before. There is nothing wrong with the TT-02 or the TT-02B. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's a brilliant, low budget, easy to build, pretty strong, and there's thousands of upgrades, easy to fix. The problem is when you've built 10, it's kind of boring after a while, and I can see why Tamiya do it, but they keep putting their brilliant body sets on TT-02s, and sometimes there's a real problem with that, because take the Senna, for instance, that came out about 4 months ago. The Senna body is insanely difficult to paint up. It's a real, I'd say it's up there in the, top 3 or 4 hardest bodies to do well. And it's on a TT-02. So someone who's got the experience to build the body set isn't really going to be interested in a TT-02, are they? They'd rather see it on a TC-01 or something else. So you get a bit of a mishmash with that, so that someone starting out is going to be scared away from the Senna body, but enjoy the TT-02, or someone who's more experienced wants the body set, doesn't really want the car. So, but apparently we're getting a replacement for it, so that'll be cool. So I don't hate it, I'm just bored of it, and I've got loads of them. And now I do the body sets, and I just don't even build the TT-02s. Like my Senna that I've got, I've actually got all the TT-02s still in a box, not built, waiting for me to find something a bit more interesting to put underneath it. So that's all. One thing I'd like to try. At the moment we smoke the windows with the PS Smoke. Has anyone tried to use actual window tint? That's something I'd like to try. Getting a sheet of actual car window tint, and then just cutting it out and actually putting it onto windows. See if that gives a better finish. That'd be quite interesting. Hello, Vintage Tamiya. Have you heard anything else about the new Tamiya buggy chassis? No, it's all gone quiet since the last bit of information that came out. It's a bit weird that we're hearing about stuff now before the toy show. I don't know what's quite going on. I know the Toyota was announced. The one that the one that I restored. Now this is coming out again, obviously on a TT-02. But this body set, but that information was leaked out. It wasn't actually released by Tamiya. As far as I heard, Tamiya were talking to somebody else, and they let slip that it came out, and it was it came to me through that way. And then the information about the cars that are coming out soon, they kind of came out, but I'm surprised all that information has been released and confirmed way ahead of the show. So it's a bit of a strange one, that one. Do I have a list of what I'm selling? Ideally, I will get round to creating a website that what I'll do is I'll put on loads of images of the cars I'm selling and the price, so people can just go and check there. But this year I need to slim down the collection a bit and have more choice pieces. So obviously I'll be getting the stuff that's coming in, new stuff, so that I can show you the latest and greatest. But then a lot of those I will probably end up selling on and just collecting my RC10s, my Team Losis, my Kyoshos and stuff, because I can't just keep expanding and expanding. My room is packed to the rafters. So I'll have to start turning around a lot more of the sort of new releases and then only keeping a few. So a website would be nice, but again, it's just down to time, creating the website and all that kind of stuff. But then putting up what I'm selling so people can just check whenever they like. That would be quite cool. TT-03, yeah. Have you had any plastic or Tamiya brakes just sitting on the shelf with vintage? Yes, vintage stuff. Well, the plastics from really old stuff goes like glass. I had a G11 part on my Vanquish. I put it on the table and it exploded. So yeah, vintage stuff, especially like the 959s and stuff like that, they're really brittle. I restored a 959 on the show, and it's been sitting on the shelf and I've never driven it, and it's cracked in a couple of other places just sitting on the shelf. So yeah, the really old stuff is only Shelf Queens, really. Hello from Korea. Hello. Hope you try liquid mask. People always nag me to try liquid mask. I actually have it here now. I've only tried it once and I didn't get on with it at all, but since then I've looked at a few people that are using it, and I only put it on once. From what I can see, what you're supposed to do is do thick coat, let it dry, do another thick coat, and then do another one, and then leave it for 24 hours. That I didn't do. So it's probably something to do with that. That I think would give me a much better thick, coating of it so I can actually cut it out. The only thing I'm not still sure about is if I want to do a really nice sharp line, I can't freehand it. But I need to try and play around with it again or get some more of it, because I want to do more intricate stuff. Ideally, I want to be painting stuff like this. And you can't do this with masking tape. You've got to do it with liquid mask. Now I've got airbrushes and a compressor, a little tiny compressor and everything. The main issue I've got with using an airbrush at the moment is I don't really have a space to do it. In the summer I can probably do it outside more, but having it all plugged into the power and then having a little something to cover me, while I'm painting in the rain and all that kind of stuff is a bit of a faff. Whereas what I do at the moment with the tins is literally when it's not raining, I run outside, spray it, run back in again, and then put it in my utility and close the door so it doesn't stink the house out. But I've kind of hit the limit of what I can actually achieve using the tins, and the tins are really expensive. I'm spending a fortune in Tamiya paints, especially as I back all my stuff. Classic example. This one I just did is yellow, but if you look underneath, it's black. So you can't just spray black over yellow. So it's yellow, then it's white, then it's silver, then it's black, and it's still not perfect. So you do use a lot of it. So I really need to change to airbrushing. It's just getting too expensive doing too many. So there you go. Banger stock cars, actually, still sitting around the corner in my stockpile. I've got a metal banger. I've got all the body, I've got all the internal frame for it and everything. I just need to place an order with Camtech, I think it is, to get their short wheelbase banger. And then I've got everything else. I've got all the internal bracketry and everything. I sourced it about a year ago to do a full metal banger. So at some point I'll dig that out. I just need to place an order. I think they're about £100 for the kit. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. Happy New Year. Oh yeah, Happy New Year everyone, by the way. Sorry if my voice is all over the place. Why do people... Manta Ray is so good. The gearbox on channel. Well, the Manta Ray is a whole family, isn't it, really? It started with the Manta Ray and then it went all the way up to the Evo and all that kind of stuff. To be honest with you, I never liked the look of the Manta Ray. It's growing on me. I've got the Super Manta Ray. It's growing on me. I wouldn't say it's my all-time favourite. Mainly the reason that I've got this one is it's a lot rarer. But it's the whole family, isn't it? It's personal choice, really. I mean, I love the look of the Evo and the Evolution. Ugh. Expensive hobbies. Yes. Well, RC, it's funny you should say that, because when I started the channel, it was about, 3.5 years ago? 4 years ago now? I can't remember. I can feel how expensive things have got. I remember I bought 5 vintage cars for about £1,000 in one day from the same person. And I got an 88 Avanti, I got a Dyna Blaster, and I got a few other cars for £1,000. Now, I'd be lucky out of 5 cars, I'd get 2 for that. Insanely expensive. My Egress Black. I mean, that's £500. Oh, it's a lot. Yeah, it does feel very expensive. Boomerang. Yeah, that was the first car I actually restored on the show. It's got it right here. There you go. I would think we'll see another reissue of the Boomerang. I would thought. A lot of people actually asked me about that. Do I think we're going to see another Boomerang? The funny thing was, when I first started the channel, the reason I did the Boomerang first was there was lots of parts available because of the re-release of it. This is actually an original one, believe it or not. But, well, most of it's... I've changed quite a bit of it. But it's original chassis and original electronics and everything. But it's a beautiful car. Yeah, and drives really well too. Yes, the price of the new Egress is shocking. Yeah, I struggled with it, and I took a lot of heat for it, for speaking out about the price of it. I mean, the presentation's beautiful, the box is beautiful, and the car is beautiful. It just feels really expensive, you know, and it just felt a bit lazy. You know, it should have had a motor in it that was special to that car, would have been really nice. Little plaque maybe, like they did for the 959, you know. Yeah, it kind of is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll probably still sell out. If they only do one run of it, then anybody who bought it won't lose massively on it because the price will stay reasonably high. If they just, like the Avanti, for instance, keep pumping out 2011 Avantis, the same, you know, if they do that, they'll water it down, then the price will drop quite a bit on it, I would have thought. And then it loses its specialty. But, you know, there we go. Hey, Gareth, how you doing? Best and worst builds of 2022. It depends what you mean. It's a difficult one. When I say worst build... Obviously, probably the XLSs. The XLS, yeah. The ProCat, yeah. But the satisfaction you get at the end and the car itself are fantastic. So, yeah, I still have... I mean, I've said this a million times. I have a love-hate relationship with vintage Schumacher cars. I love them when they're built. I hate them when they're in a box. I mean... here it is. This is the ProCat, and I've changed the wheels on it since then to make it a little bit different. Finished, it's beautiful, and they drive amazingly well. You know, they're really gorgeous, and you can mod the life out of them and stuff, and do lots of bits and pieces to them. And a lot of you do comment to me that you've just finished it, and they are annoying. There is a few tricks to putting them together to make life easier. And once you've done a few, they do get a bit easier. This one was easier than my XLS. And then my original XLS that I did, that was the worst one because my expectations were very different. So you get used to it and then you start to get a bit of a knack for it. But the 4 bolts that go through the front of this, oh my God, there's like 5 holes you have to line up to get the bolts to go through. And you've got to get all 4. Yeah, there's a lot of swearing going involved in that, but and painting it up box art, I was really chuffed. I wasn't gonna do it, but I am really happy with it. I think it looks real nice. I'm real chuffed with that. So there you go. I will drive it around the track in the summer. I've got so many cars that I need to put around the track when it's warm. If you drive them in the garden around the track when it's dry and stuff, it doesn't actually do anything to them. So I want to get some times on the boards. Oh, excuse me. Do you think that the Riri kits damage the value? Do I think Riri kits damage the value of original cars? That's a really good question. I would say yes and no. Plus, it depends on your opinion as well as in how you look at it. For instance, for me, you know, I've got quite a few original ones, but I don't mind if they re it and the price goes down, and it will drop off. The price will go down. Maybe it's only a short period of time, but normally when something's first released, like ProCat, take the ProCat for instance, I'm pretty sure the ProCats, the vintage prices have come down. I haven't checked, but I would assume they've dropped down a bit.
But look at the plus sides. The plus sides are that you can restore vintage ones. People can experience a Pro Cat where they couldn't have before. There's people driving them again at vintage RC races and stuff. And people can have them in their collections, and they can have mint ones, and they can have shelf queens. They can collect the box, you know, if you want a new in box one that you want to collect. So I see more good than I do bad. You know, I don't like being the person that's got one sitting on the shelf and like, ha, I have one, you don't, and you never will, ha ha ha. I get more joy out of them being re-released, and I can get a new one on the show and I can build it up. And so for me, I think it's a good thing. Also, the other side of it is over time, the re-releases become more valuable as well, especially if they discontinue them. Classic example, look at a Schumacher XLS now. When they announced that kit was being discontinued, they're now worth loads compared to, I think they're like £500 new inbox kits. So all of them are now gone up. You can't get a cheap XLS. You can get a Pro Cat and change it back, obviously. So I don't know, I don't think so. I think there's enough demand for it. I mean, if you take this is a classic example of that's a re-release. This sells for exactly the same as a vintage one does, because they discontinued it and they didn't produce masses of it. If anything, you know, like Team Associated should be bringing out more now. You know, Team Lossy should be dropping out their new, you know, they should be bringing out their vintage, the JRXs and stuff like that. You know, they did, where is it? You know, they did this, which was nice, but it's such a shame it's not 1/10. I mean, they said their statement was, oh, it's to protect the people that have got the original ones. But again, it's like so many people would love this in 1/10 that if I bought and owned a 1/10 vintage one, I wouldn't be upset that they brought it out again. I'd get another one. So I don't think it's a bad thing. But hey, you know, it's a personal opinion. Hey Bob, is Kyosho ever going to release the Optima Mid Custom Special? Well, that's a good question. I reckon we're definitely going to get another mid, for sure. When and which one? Now, I'm pretty sure that the mid that was released did really well, and everybody loved it. I've never had anyone say, I know one person I think had problems with one, but everybody else has been really positive about it, and I think it was probably the release of the year. So we're definitely going to get another one, but honestly, whether it will be in 2023 does seem a bit early. Could be 2024. Now, they won't do the turbo, obviously. They won't do the turbo because they did the decals for it in the box, and you know, there's not a great deal of difference. Well, so will they go for a long wheelbase? Yeah, pretty much. But which one? So, you know, that is the rare one. That's the Toms. So whether they'll jump straight to this one, I don't know. Or whether they'll do another long wheelbase one and then save this one for later on. But then this would be out of, you know, if they went for, you know, if they brought out the last mid, then went back to this, it wouldn't really work. You know, this came first, then this. So, I don't know. It's a bit of a guess. But yes, definitely going to be, I would say, long wheelbase, but which one, don't know. Shame about the FMS Mashigun. Yes, I actually asked them could I get one because I was really interested in it. And for some reason I missed the first round. Usually FMS will get in contact with you and say, we're doing this, you know, would you like one to show on the show? And I haven't heard much from FMS in quite a while. It's been all quiet from that side. And then I saw people like showing them on the YouTube channels and stuff, and I really liked it. I thought it looked really nice, and I like their bigger stuff. I've been nagging them to do bigger stuff for a long time. And then I said, oh, can I have one? And they said, well, yeah, okay. And then it went really quiet for ages. And then I contacted them, say, hey, you know, what's going on? It hasn't arrived. You know, can you check, see if it's gone missing or anything? And then the news broke about they've been pulling them and stuff. So I actually contacted them and say, hey, it seems, you know, there's some legal thing going on, or what's going on. So they didn't really say much to me. But I said, well, when, you know, you reissue it or whatever, let me know, and then I'll get one on the show, because I really want one. But there is some stock in the UK of them. So I could buy one and get it on the show. And I was thinking about it, because I kind of thought, well, if they're going to... We don't know what happened, as far as I know. No idea what's happened. But I would guess that they were contacted because it looked too much like the Jeep or whatever, and told them, well, you don't want to be doing that. I honestly don't know. I'm purely guessing. So if they pulled it, and they're going to modify it to change it, then the original ones are going to be quite desirable. So I did think to myself, well, should I... I mean, they're not cheap. Should I just get hold of an original one? And then I could probably have it on the show. And then if I sell it later, I can at least get my money back. I won't lose. Because when you get these ready to runs, once you start using them and stuff, they do drop in value quite a bit. So it can be quite expensive when they're the bigger ones. So I don't know. I kind of thought that I missed the boat a little bit. And there's quite a lot of stuff on YouTube now about them. But I do like it. The scale, and you can have the roof off it with the bars and everything. It does look really, really good. Turbo Optima new release. What surprised me was that they did the Kyosho released the Phantom CRC2. I was surprised at that. But what's going to be next? I'd like a Kyosho 2-wheel drive buggy. That would be really nice. Yeah, that would be quite cool. Would be lovely to have an official Tamiya shop in the UK. Yes, we desperately need an official Tamiya store. I'm sick of seeing these videos with these really nice Tamiya stores, and you're like, oh, I wish there was one in the UK. Yeah, for sure. It would be a lovely thing to do. But Tamiya, obviously, they use they're not in the UK themselves. So I don't know how that would ever work out, but yes, it would be brilliant. Have I still got the Herbie body? Yes, I still got it. Yep. It's a Monster Beetle body. Yes, I still got it. Yeah, will Tamiya reissue the Hotshot 2? Yes, I hope so. Because it's funny, I was talking to someone about this. They brought out the Blockhead Hotshot 2, right? And people ask me, what do I think about it? And I thought about it for a while, and it's like, well, it depends. If Tamiya then bring out the Hotshot 2 original, I won't mind having the Blockhead Hotshot 2. If they don't, I think I'd be a bit upset, because I really want an original. I really want a Hotshot 2 standard one. So I would be a bit bummed if they don't actually do it. So then I would probably be more resentful of the Blockhead one. And also, if you get the Blockhead one, to change that into a Hotshot 2, it's a lot of work. Well, the body's going to be wrong, so you're going to have to do that because it's pre-painted. The canopy section is different, so you've got to change that. Then I think there's a few other bits. I think some of the shocks are one colour. I can't remember. There's a few other bits and pieces. So it's not an easy... to convert one into a standard Hotshot 2. So it's a difficult one. I could be kind of annoyed by it if we don't get the Hotshot 2 original one as well. But I could see Tamiya, it would make sense for them to bring this one out first and then the original one. I don't know, what do you think? Jeep issued a stop order. They come back with a new grille and bonnet. Yeah, that's what I heard as well. I mean, it will be quite... I know they're going to re-release it for sure, because I said, oh, can I have whatever comes out And they were like, well, yeah, as soon as we know more. So then there's no way they're going to bin it. They'll just modify it a little bit. And I'm pretty sure, knowing FMS, what they'll do is there'll be bolt-on modify. You know, the grill will be a bolt-on part. So I'm assuming that they'll just change that part, bolt another one on, and that'll be it, and it'll come out. So, but it does look really scale. I mean, it's big though. The scale's off a bit. It's a bit on the big side, but the detail, the dashboard in it looks really good. And also, someone did a conversion. Someone took is it a Jimny? The big Jimny one, and took the leaf springs off the Jimny and all the running gear and put it into that. So you had that looked really good. And the conversion didn't look too difficult either. So I might do that. I did see that. That was on YouTube, that video. Madcap Riri, yes, I sold mine and I'm gutted. It was a lovely example, but I got offered a decent amount of money for it, so I had to let it go. It's gone to a good home, but I do miss the Madcap. So a Riri Madcap would be lovely. Dyna Storm. I sold my Dyna Storm because someone made me a really good offer on it as well. I mean, they offered me a lot for it at the time, but it actually now that's what they sell for. But I was kind of, my justification for letting anything like that go is we'll probably see a Riri. So I can then talk myself out of saying, no, I won't sell it. Hi, Mr. Tamiya 89. Ultimate Pro 2. Yes, definitely. Bear Hook. A lot of people, I see a lot of people give a lot of love to the Bear Hook. Me personally, I'm kind of meh, all right. But there's surprising how many people comment like that, want to see the Bear Hook. Newfoundland, hello. It better not be a TD-02 Madcap. No. It's got to be an original Madcap. If they do that, I don't want them to do that. I don't like that. There's a few things that scare me. Stuff like that. 959 on a different chassis. Oh no, don't do that. So yeah, that worries me. I had a Saturday job at BT's in Blackpool. Lucky enough to build RC cars for customers. The Bear Hook, yeah. Do you think we'll ever see? I don't see why we can't. And there seems to be a lot of people, if one came out, I'd definitely get one on the show. But it wasn't one that was really massively on my radar. Maximum FF. Yeah. Would love to. Yeah, the truck. It's that side. If you can see it, the truck. Yeah, I've still got it. It needs a trailer, but I haven't pulled the trigger on the trailer because they're quite expensive. But my plan was to have a trailer on it and have it on the side here, and then have the RCKicks logo on the trailer. Eventually, maybe this year. Last year was to do a truck and get a tank, and I did both of those. So I need to get the trailer, and also the electronics inside need to be cleaned up so I can get the seats in as well as having the sound unit and everything. So I will go back to doing that. That's great fun. Slowly over time, I've been changing a few metal parts, but no one's seen that. That's just been done in the background kind of thing. The shelves are all IKEA specials. Everything's freestanding. One thing I learned from the old studio is don't bolt things to walls. So everything, the whole studio you see is freestanding. I could take this studio, move it somewhere else, put it all back together again, and it would look exactly the same. There's actually, I can go behind here, all behind here. There's a little passageway around the back here, and there's racks behind these, and that's where all the boxes and everything. And then behind me is 2 more racks of shelves with more cars, and then all my jobs, my shame rack that has all the jobs that need to be done. But I've run out of room. The Gravel Hound and the Plasma Edge. I don't know. Can someone answer that one? I honestly don't know. I can't remember. I know the body set's different, isn't it? Kyosho salute. Yeah, not overly not too keen on the body set on it, but yeah, it's one that doesn't really pop up that much. I'm not sure what they are, but they are IKEA shelves. Yeah, they're like modular ones. I can change them around, but they were cheap. They're not too bad for cars. They're not the best solution. You know, having them on the wall like I had downstairs in the old studio is a better way to go, but drilling 100 holes in the wall and then having to fix it all when you take it down. If I ever moved to another studio, I would go back to a massive core wall. I would do, you know, like to do one here would be really cool, but the amount of work it would be, I'm not going to do that again until I go somewhere. And then I'll do a freestanding core wall. But what I want to do is have it so I can walk all the way around the back of it, so that I can actually feed lights through and stuff. But hopefully we'll one day be able to rent a unit and then have a big studio like that. More F1 kits. Yeah, it's been a bit quiet on the F1 front. I did a few vintage stuff, but I've still got 2 F1 cars sitting staring at me. I've got the Mission. Is it the Mission? From Schumacher. And I've got the Mardave one that still don't have the body on. They're fully working. I just haven't finished the bodies. And that must be about a year ago. Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. I need to sell one of those on. That will be definitely one that's going. I'm not sure whether I'll keep the Mardave one or the Schumacher Mission. Not sure. The DTM cars, yeah. Opel Calibra, yeah, still got it. I did a chassis swap on it, didn't I? Infraction 3S, yeah, they are good. Yeah, I still got my Infraction 3S that I did on the show. That's one of my drive. Just throw batteries in it, take it out, and blast it around, and not worry about it. I've got a few cars that I drive just by throwing batteries in. I don't care about my X-Max. What else have I got? My CC-02. TC-01 is another driver one. What else have I got that I just drive around? Oh, my Schumacher Cat K1 Aero is another one that I just drive around and don't really care about. They're the ones I kind of go to when it's rainy, wet, and I'm not bothered about. Cool, you got him a Thundershot. Yeah, it was good to see the Thundershot. You know, we kind of predicted that we were going to see them all eventually. So it was nice. And that carbon chassis that I fitted on my Thunder Dragon, that was really good. Really like that. I enjoyed that. That's made it a lot more special. 2 F1 cars. Well, I've got a few F1 cars. I've got this one. This one. That's a Tamiya. It's got an F1. Then I've got a Kyosho. That's a Kyosho. I built that on the show, brand new. And then I've got 2 other Formula 1 cars. This one. This is the Mardave one. It fully works, but I still haven't even finished the body. So it's now sitting like this on the shelf staring at me because I need to finish it. The car's all done and the car drives and it's got all the electronics and everything. Oh, I've taken the receiver out of it. But that's chassis number 12, that is. It says on it. Chassis 12. Cougar Classic. Oh, you ordered the carbon chassis for it? Is you releasing an Optimid custom special? Well, there, someone's already asked that. I would think so, hopefully. Which one, though? Honestly, don't know. Yes, it was the Thunder Dragon chassis upgrade. Yeah, it's really rigid now. And a lot lighter, too. It did take a lot of work, though. You had to get all the pieces yourself. It wasn't a turnkey solution. you got the chassis plates, and then you had to get all the little bits and pieces yourself, and the spacers and everything, and the extra long different bolts and all that kind of stuff. So you had to put a bit of effort into it. But the main issue was the drive shaft. I don't know if anyone remembers watching it. The drive shaft wasn't quite long enough. And I talked to the person who actually did the chassis, and I gave him the dimensions, and someone on the show, I forget his name, sorry, off the top of my head, he made me one, and it was really good quality. So I've got the perfect drive shaft. The one that comes with it works, but it was a little bit not long enough. It was a little bit short. So it would work, but you could kind of rattle it around a little bit. So there you go. Hello to Sweden. I can't remember which one of the Ultimate Boxes ones were green. So you got an XV01. Yeah, XV01s, they were a great price point because of the XV02 came out. They're brilliant. I've got one. Here's one here. That's my XV01. Nightmare body. Absolute nightmare decal, that one. It's a good chassis, enjoyable build. I don't know if you like the XV01. What you any recommendation for the next kit? I honestly don't know. It depends what you're after, really. It's a bit tighter. Someone asked, have I driven the Thunder Dragon with the carbon chassis? Yes, I have driven it. It's a bit more responsive, but then the big fat front tyres don't help. I think if you change to smaller front tyres, it would make a big difference. The new chassis, not much to say on them, really. I haven't really looked into it too much. I will get them on the show, and then we'll just kind of make up our minds as we go along, really. What's coming next on the show? Well, there's going to be an RCKicks meetup again, but that's going to be down in West London. I will do a video on it, where everyone can come and spend the day. We've got to book a track for the day, a bit like what we did at Force Raceway up north. That's coming. I think that's going to be the end of March, so I need to do a video on it reasonably soon, and then put all the information about what's going to happen and have prices for tickets and all that kind of stuff. That's coming. I'm definitely going to be having a few more team losses on the show. I'm talking to a lot of people at the moment about getting a few more vintage team losses. Problem is, most of them in America, so trying to make a deal work in America is really difficult because the dollar's really strong against the pound, shipping's really expensive, and import tax is 20% on the car and the shipping, and because the shipping's expensive, trying to get a deal across the line is really difficult from America, because anyone in America trying to sell a car to someone in the UK, they could just sell it in America for more, and then when you look at it from a UK point of view, it's just insanely expensive. So you kind of think, well, I'll just sit and wait for one to turn up that's already in the UK, and it might take 6 months for it to come up on eBay UK, but it will still be cheaper. So it's been really difficult to kind of get some deals across the lines. And a few people that are contacting me, they're really, it's really nice. There's people that contact me and go, I really want you to have it and have it on the show. And then we try to get a price across the line. And obviously I want them to get a reasonable price for it. But once I start adding on all the extra fees, it just becomes too expensive. And, so yeah, it doesn't help. But hopefully a few more. Okay. Well, we've got 5 minutes and then I've got to go. So Rebecca just told me. Yeah, the taxes is ridiculous. Because if you buy something, it's already got tax paid on it. So it makes no sense to me. It's like someone bought something 15 years ago and they paid tax on it. Then they sell it to me, and then I have to pay tax on it and tax on the shipping, or something that's 15 years old that had tax paid on it. So yeah, it really hurts RC resales and stuff like that, vintage stuff from one country to another. And then obviously, it's like if I want to buy sort of RC10 stuff, or I want to buy lossy stuff, or America's the better place to go. And I can understand the shipping being a little bit more, but shipping is so expensive now. So it kind of kills all the deals and everything, you know. Anyway, there we go. The Alfa Romeo 155. The only Alfa Romeo I've got is this one. Now you're going to kill me because I don't know which one this is. I bought this like this purely on a whim. Someone painted it up and I love what they did. Is that what this is? The 155? Or is that the new one that's coming? The Alfa Romeo one that we've seen that's coming? Sorry, I don't know my Alfas at all. I bought this purely because I like the look of it. I know it's terrible, isn't it? But I love what he did with the colours at the front and stuff. And I bought it before I'd even thought about it. So... there we go. I need to actually do some work to it. It's not backed or anything, so the paint needs to be backed. So I need to mask off all the windows, back it in white, and then back it in black. And then I'll probably tint the windows a little bit, or maybe put a driver cockpit in it at some point. But this is not my work. I didn't do this. I just really like what they did with it. Made it into a little tiny rally one, which I thought was really cute. Right, is there anything else we can chat about? Quick 5 minutes before we go. What else we'll see coming out? I honestly don't know. Oh, what will be back on the show soon is the Blazing Blazer. I've now got it sitting here. I need to do the decals, and then I need to bite the bullet on the roof, which is a lot of money, £165 for the roof. That'll be back on the show soon, but that's almost finished. I'll show you if you want. Here we go. Don't know if you can see that. Oh, a bit close. There we go. So that'll be back on the show. I've got to do the decals. So it's getting there. Oh, it's so heavy. I've been talking about getting hold of a JRX. Someone's got one, but it's in pieces. But again, it's a bit like I was talking about. It's in America, and he wants to sell it to me, but it's still quite expensive, and it's just a massive ton of parts. So it's a bit difficult when you're buying a car that's in so many pieces. And it's one of those things. If it's missing one part, it's going to be really difficult to get that part, and that part could be really expensive. So there was one on eBay that I tried to do a deal with as well for a JRX. But it's still just too expensive once you add the import tax and everything, which is a real shame, but I will try and get a JRX if I can. Yeah, Blazing Blazers. That Blazing Blazer I built on a show is brand new in box. That one's never been driven, so it's gorgeous, which is why I wanted to put a lot more effort into it. I want it to be the best example I can get, really. Original Avanti. There's an original Avanti up there. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. That's an original one. Original body, original decals. You can tell because the body is so soft. It's a bit dusty. But it's got all its original front end. The only thing wrong with it is the suspension has lost its gold a little bit over time. So I could do with some changing to some more better condition vintage. But apart from that, it's all original. And it's all got the original electronics in it and everything. Yeah, you can tell the orange on the wheels of the Avanti, the vintage ones, the colour changes over time. So you can really tell. Ontario, Canada. Hello. Right, I think we're about to call it there because I'm getting a bit hot and sweaty and I'm not feeling that great. But I wanted to do a little video and have a good chat and stuff. Sorry, it was a bit of an impromptu and no one got to any heads up that I'm going to do this. So now I need to go and get my son. But nice chatting with you all again. I should do these more often, but they end up drifting into a couple of months. But thanks for coming and having a chat. And I'll see you soon. This will hopefully video will be out in the next day or two with all the updates. See you soon. Bye-bye.